Hey, what's up guys? It's Brian back at you again with another video on the Mustang. It's just going to be an update video of everything that I've got done so far with the car. I haven't really posted a video in a while, but this one will just give you a brief overview of everything that's been going on. So I'll just take it right to you. Alright, so there she sits. She's on the ground. I got a couple clips on Instagram and everything, but really nothing in depth. But here it is. I won't go too far in depth because I still am testing stuff and it'll kind of change over time. But for the most part, this is how she sits and this is where she will sit. This is pretty raw now. It's real nice. But yeah, let's get started on it. So turbo. This is one I have. I have another one placed in the box. I will be choosing between one or the other. This one right here, I'll let you guess how big that one is. That one's pretty big. You can tell. There's my fist, and I've got an extra large hand, double XL glove. But yeah, that's it right there. Piping for the engine right here. It's a 2-valve gang. Yee yee. You know, stay with the single overhead cam gang. 2-valve for life. I got 2 sets of injectors. Both of them are Bosch 210s. I just recently had them flow tested, had them flow matched. Everything turned out perfectly. Those injectors are great. So far. I haven't really had them for long, but they should last okay. And if they don't last, I got another set that I could just pop right in there that are also flow matched. So they should be perfect. Real good with those injectors. I got injector game on lock. So what else? Same coil packs I've had always. Holley stuff, Holley Dominator. And intake, like I said, same intake, just adapted for the second stage of fuel rails. Switched, I think last year to aerospace brakes. Man, I've had some time with those things. I literally kid you not, man. I've been trying to mess with these brakes for almost a year now, trying to figure out what was going on with it. First of all, I bought them used, so it was at a good deal. But they're really dirty. I had to clean them up a lot. It took me about a week to clean up. It was some aluminum polish and just pretty much sanding and grinding just to get the clear back to them, because they are billet aluminum and they shined up okay. They shined up okay, as you can tell. But then once I got them installed, some of the fitment was off, so I had to do a little bit of adjustment to it, a little bit of tinkering, and I got it good so far. Oh, can you see me? I got it good so far, so I'm just gonna rock them out and see how they do. I'm not gonna be on my brakes that much, so we're gonna be using the parachute a lot lately, or a lot more for this car. So we'll keep going on with that. But until then, I'll show you a little bit more of an overview. Yeah, so going back to the brakes, here they are right here. Like I said, they are aerospace components, front and rear, with Fox body hubs in the front and the C-clips in the rear. And like I said, I was having some issues with it. Turns out I had the rears mess up. Well, I'll tell you exactly what was going on. So I bled them the way I just seen. I wasn't used to bleeding them this right way, but I seen it on YouTube for just one person to bleed them, and I had a whole bleeder kit and everything like that. But I bled them. They worked okay, but what was going on was when I had to press twice. It was the weirdest thing. I had to build up pressure, so I had to pump the brakes twice in order to get pressure. And that was just going on for a couple months. And I didn't know what was going on. You know, I kept bleeding them. I went through, I think, about, I don't know how much. You can see the face I'm making right now. I went through about five jugs of, you know, DOT4 fluid, trying to figure out what was going on with them. But it turns out that on the actual brakes, the caliper itself in the rear, I had the bleeder screws below the where the AN fitting came from the brake lines to the brakes. I don't know if I'm describing it right, but if you can picture it, picture the bleeder screw being below the point where you actually need it above, so that it gets out all the air. And my buddy Tony came over, I want to say last month, and helped me out with it. And ever since then, they've been perfect. So I haven't had any complaints. I've got to get my other buddy to build me or give me a spacer for the disc, because the hub and the disc, they need to have a certain gap between them for them to work properly. So I just fixed some spacers up, but I need something really machined in order to make it more secure and I can rely on my brakes a little bit more. But until then, parachute lifestyle, baby. We'll let it rock. And that's just a little bit about the brakes. Everything else with the car is working perfectly. I drove it a couple times and everything worked out all right. The car runs cool, and right now I am driving on 110 VP, but that's the only other fuel besides alcohol that I'll be running on the car. So no more E85. It's just a personal preference. Nothing wrong with the E85, nothing wrong with my fuel lines. Everything worked out perfect with the last setup, but right now it's all or nothing. So nothing but alcohol, and when the alcohol is not in the car, it's switched over to 110 to clean out the fuel lines, and then we'll keep rocking away. So I'm gonna fire the car up. You guys stick with me. All right, she's out. No sense of filming while driving, so I'll take it for the drive and give you guys I don't know, a video after, because driving this takes both hands and this cell phone ain't gonna work until I get a cell phone mount or something like that. But until then, you guys will, this will probably be the end of this video. All right guys, so didn't film the actual cruise, but everything went perfect. Took it down the street, got into a little bit of boost, probably about 5 pounds in both high and low gear, and everything checked out. I don't have any leaks. Everything checked out so far. Airfield was okay. And like I said, this fuel, it's the 110, so it's not really meant for any boost or anything like that. It's just meant to clean out the fuel rails and all the fuel lines from the alcohol that it will be running. But if I do need a cruise on the fuel, it's ready to roll. If I need to make a little bit of boost on the fuel, it's ready to roll too. But 100% of the time, this thing is in boost, it will be on the alcohol. So just giving you guys a little update. And that was about it. Oh yeah, I also changed, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I changed the breathers. I put them actually in the bumper. If you could see, they're just right there hanging and chilling. But I rerouted the breathers to the rear of the car because for this setup, the rings are gapped pretty wide. I mean, it's what the manufacturer recommended, but they are gapped pretty wide, and at idle, it does smoke. It definitely vents out a lot of smoke. Nothing too crazy. A couple engines I've done have also did it the same way. I didn't want to gap them too tight either, because with everything set up, I'll be running a lot of boost on this car. I mean, it's built for a lot of boost. So It's just a minor inconvenience, but other than that, everything on the engine's working perfectly. I routed them. If you could tell, I routed the valve cover breather. It goes through here, through the cowl, and then also on this side as well. It goes through the cowl, and then it tees off into a big freaking 1.5 inch hose. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it right here. It vents off in this hose right here, underneath the car, all the way to both of those breathers. Actually, they wire off to both of those breathers, and they're actually catch cans. So if anything does happen, let's say, I pressurize the whole crankcase, and over pressurize it and oil spills out, it's not going to be shooting out in the front of the car. It'll shoot out in the rear. That way, if it does shoot out, it's not going to be underneath the tires. I'm not going to crash. And just better. And then also what I mainly wanted to do it for was, like I was saying, it was smoking, and I don't want to close the hood and it still be smoking. And I'm thinking, okay, I'll get used to that smoke and something else might be smoking, and I'm not going to tell the difference between that smoke and the valve covers breathing, and something, serious could happen. So that's why I did it for the most part. Just being able to shut the hood and not worry about anything else smoking on the car is perfect. And yeah, I mean, nothing else really changed. The same setup on the car. Got more power, baby. Everything else is mounted under the rear trunk. I'm not going to get down there and show you guys. You guys just going to have to take my word for it. But it's mounted all in the rear trunk. The radiator and all the transcoolers and pretty much everything it's in there. I did weigh the car. It's set almost perfect. Perfect for a radio car. I've got it at 55, 45, front to rear and side to side. I'm still going to be working with it. Since I got the rear seat in there, I'll probably put some weight or some weighted pads or something when I'm actually in the car to get the even on each side. It's not off too much, but since I'm pretty heavy, I'm like 230, 235-ish. So when I am in the car, it is kind of leaning to the driver's side. But other than that, front to back is perfect. Got to fix the side to side. Got to get some more 110 because I literally ran out of it as I was pulling the car up to the house. So I had to hurry up and get it out and make sure I didn't get pulled over or anything by the police or anything. So yeah, everything looks great. Only thing I got to do before I hit the dyno is switch out the spark plugs. I'm running the BR9s. I had BR7s in there before with E85 in the old motor, and they worked great. I was told by a couple other guys that are similar setups that the 9s are perfect for, the high boost setups with a high RPM, and that's what I'm running with now. So I'm running BR9s. I've got about 64 plugs, 64 of the BR9s, and I'm ordering another set again because, with the alcohol lifestyle, you're reading plugs like literally almost outing or twice every outing. So I got a whole bunch of plugs pretty much, and they're all stacked away, and I'm waiting on some more. So it's just a part of it. Just got to keep maintaining the car on top of oil changes every pass. Not every pass, but every couple passes on top of oil changes. A lot of stuff you got to do as far as keeping the engine happy and keeping it maintenance-wise, keeping it up to date on the maintenance. Especially when running alcohol, you're going to need to make sure that the valve guides, the actual plastic guides part of it, you're going to have to switch those out quite often. They're not, they're not in there to stay, but because the alcohol will combine with the oil sometimes and actually wear those things out at a lot quicker rate than normal. So you're going to have to be on top of that. So I got a little checklist of everything that does wear out that I will have to change. So that'll be on top of that. But other than that, still learning everything. I'm not, Einstein when it comes to this stuff. I just learn as I go, pick the brains of people that have been doing it. That way I can learn from them, learn from their mistakes, and hopefully don't run into the same things. But if I do, I got a couple people that I can talk to just to help out and push me in the right direction. But I just want to thank everybody that has given me information. I know that a lot of guys I talk with and, write to are all on Facebook. Couple of the actual Facebook groups, they've been a big help. A couple of the Holly Mod Motor guys, they've been a big help. And I just want to thank them all for everything pretty much, because I really didn't know anything about 5 years ago, but I learned so much from everyone talking and everyone's stories and all that stuff. And that's pretty much what it is about, you know. You kind of pick up the stuff as you go. And I wouldn't learn anything. I wouldn't know anything if I didn't learn from those guys. So yeah, it's been excellent. It's been excellent. So like I said, just going to switch out the spark plugs, get a time and a date to get it set up for an actual tune. Not going to try to, you know, be down on heroes or anything like that. Just get it up on some boost, probably medium or something like that. Just make sure everything works okay while it's in boost. And then straight to the track after that. Whenever this Corona stuff happens, or whenever this Corona stuff, you know, frees up the track and the track can open up, because I am in California. California is usually going to be the last one at any, you know, release of regulations. Just the way it is out here, it's not the best as far as, you know, having all the fun stuff get down. So tracks hopefully will be opening up by July, and that's when we'll be out. So you guys stay tuned and good luck out there. All right.